a more subdued round. We'll see if they decide to press the matter. That was a very, very close round, and I think we saw some elements of play from the Grannies which we can look forward to for future rounds. It's 3-0 so far. But I think aTTaX would do well to be anything but comfortable.
Alright, into round 4, and it's for the Grannies knocker side of things. They're going to be bringing out just a single AK. We'll see if Sadivo has got what it takes to turn that into something bigger. Streaking out of play early on, freeze as well. You can definitely see that aTTaX have learnt their lesson a little bit from the previous round. They're keeping Granny Knockers at arm's length. Oh, that's a terrible phrase. I can't remember just to call them the Grannies. Oh boy. Grannies onto the site. aTTaX giving ground here. Again, lovely layered defense. You've seen a little bit from the Granny side, but from aTTaX, the discipline, the spacing of aTTaX is really, really good. You can tell they've drilled together. Ozek, you see, backed up with a teammate, almost playing as a single player there. And again, while aTTaX did take a few more casualties than he would have liked. In fact, no, I'm gonna recount what I'm saying there. I forgot this was the round that Granny Knockers came into with barely anything. They actually did amazingly well there to get that many kills. So with that in mind, the Granny's going to be coming into this round with a good-looking buy. aTTaX, yeah, not a ton of money in the bank despite having the 4 rounds in a row, just because they keep getting a lot of their members killed. Ollie in the approach, double nade in there. Takes a little trim off the Grannies. And if you are wondering, is it fun to say to call a team Grannies? It is. Oh, nice play. Magilla gets 2. Beautiful catch there on the way in. Just a little bit unexpected aggression. Sadivo as well, taking out Freeze. This is looking like the best round for the Grannies by a million miles. The plant is good. And there we go. A little bit of aggression from the Grannies. Gets them into a solid position. As we talked about before, aTTaX, they don't have a big line of credit to draw upon, while Perks will at least get a kill back in. This is a warning sign for the German squad that while the Grannies have been kept in place for a while, they're still very dangerous. There we go. The Grannies take flight. And I think we get to see a little bit of their threat level in the series. So the disadvantage, I think, to aTTaX playing so closely cohered as a squad is that I think when the Grannies start to be a little unpredictably aggressive or just do things that fall a little bit outside of your practice style, the aTTaX could end up getting caught off guard. And as you saw there, having the AWP just not react at all in time. aTTaX, of course, with a minimal buy for this round, will be much more willing to be aggressive here in round 6. Grannies up to full offensive players. Hyped, unfortunate timing there, switching. Doesn't quite manage to get the last shots. Ozek being driven away with the volley. The Granny is not taking any chances at all. Two SMGs still in play. aTTaX will be fishing around the outside of the Granny's formation, see if they can get anything, but I don't think there's going to be too much going on. Granny squad playing some very, very clean play. They're not leaving nearly any room for aTTaX to get in and cause any kind of chaos. So Devo is out here on the flank, hunting for extra kills. I'm not sure if I like this one, because for the Grannies, I mean, they've got everything they wanted out of the round. I suppose a few more kills wouldn't hurt, but they open themselves up a little bit. And they're still going to go chasing the members of aTTaX, which again could lead, yeah, we've got 3 kills in the dying moments of the round, and the Grannies, I just don't know if that's really that worthwhile. They lost more than they gained, I think, in that exchange. aTTaX going to sit back again in this round once more. They lost a lot of money in the early rounds despite getting 4 rounds wins in a row. The Grannies, they're feeling pretty decent, managing to get their, of course, their round wins in 2 in a row and preserve a good amount of stuff. What's that here? Tight on the corner. Ooh, lovely. Actually managed to get the kill off the Grannies. As, yeah, Hyped does finish off the job. We have got the lead defense from aTTaX here again. Hoping to see if they can get somebody with Deagle. They've got Freeze sneaking around the back of the formation, so maybe, just maybe. Guys, they're showing off some of that layered defensive technique we saw aTTaX using to such great effect before. Alright, so the Grannies have almost drawn even. Let's see how things end up working out longer term. This should be the buy round and will be the buy round for aTTaX. They've got the AWP back in the hands of Hyped. You'd see him struggle a little bit before when the Grannies players proved to be less predictable. The flick play wasn't as good as we could have hoped for. But with aTTaX now having a good amount of utility, they're going to spend that on getting very firm control of the mid. But the A approach is being taken by Grannies, and they are there already. Arrow takes that streak in on that side. But the A side is completely open. Arrow gets taken out on the way back in, and unlike last time when we had the bomb being dropped on B, this should be a much better setup. Megillo gets taken to pieces though. And it's 2 versus 3, but aTTaX are pretty heavily out of position. They won't at least be able to stop the plant from going through. Double A closing in from both sides. aTTaX, again, great layered play. They're trying to find where Slocko is. Here, we'll eventually spot the barrel poking out. Fuse is good and Hyped finishes the job. Alright. So aTTaX. Okay, good. I thought for a second that it would be left a little bit too late, but aTTaX managed to seize back control, at least for this round. You can see on the right hand side, of course, for the Grannies, they've got a good amount of money left in the bank. They're definitely not going to be shut out of this next round, especially after making that plant. It's a precarious position aTTaX are operating from here. They've at least got the 2 AKs coming out of this round, so we'll see how they end up doing. I definitely feel like Grannies have still very much got a route back into this. If they can seize back control again for the round, particularly if they can do it without taking too much damage, they're in a great spot. Early nades do a minimal amount of hurt. This time round, aTTaX being much more cautious on their defense. Nobody, at least no major players out in towards the site as Megillo comes in and goes 1 for 1. Unfortunate timing there for aTTaX. Worried about someone coming around behind him, and instead it's the person in front. Heavy fighting on the B site, bomb gets dropped. aTTaX is still there on site. You can see the attempting streak in to knock on wood. Reinforcements arriving for alternate attacks from Perk's side of things. Hyped holding down the A site and manages to take out Sadivo, which means for the Grannies they have to know that they're going to get surrounded soon. Bomb is on the site, streaking by his own and gets owned by Hyped. Alright, well, that is the terrifying round over for the German squad. Well done to them for managing to keep the Grannies at somewhat at arm's length, though it got a bit spicy on the B side. I think Hyped definitely found himself in the ideal position there, where he could just kind of go face to face with multiple different opponents and win out those duels rather than have to do anything too much more spicy. Again, Granny's getting a little trimmed on the way in as we start out here in round 10. Mid-control seems to be the focus. Lots of utility being displayed. Alternate attacks move multiple members in. Then from Donut, Sadivo manages to get 2 before being dropped down. We're left with Hyped and Orzek after the dust has settled. Granny's Knockers doing very well here. I think Orzek in some pretty major trouble. At least, hey guys, is going to be down low on HP, but it's looking like Grannies will take back control. It just took 1 round longer than we might have otherwise expected. Yep, Orzek is gone, which means the best that Hyped can do is stay out of trouble for the remainder of the round. We've seen from the Grannies before they're more than happy to go hunting for alternate attacks members, so I'm not super optimistic about Hype's chances of doing anything better than just getting 1 before being eventually overrun. You see the Grannies, they're splitting up. They've got search parties out for Hype right now. I mean, he's in a good position. Again, yeah, you should at least get the 1 in before getting knocked down. Exactly as expected. I think that was good. In this case, I can definitely appreciate it from the Granny side of things. There's a lot to gain from making that hunt. Now the question is how the German squad alternate attacks are going to approach this round. They've got themselves a little bit of money in the bank. We've got just a couple of rounds left to go in the half. Decided to take a more conservative approach. See Hype there on the A site. Going to be getting some reinforcements in just a second. But yes, I don't think it's going to go terribly well. Orzek at least does get 1. Alternate attack's going to have to go for the retake at best. Good control with the utility. Orzek does manage to grab hold of it. He can't get 1 before being slain, so it's down to 2 on 2. Ray is definitely favoured with the rifles. Alternate attack's going to have to force their way through here. Going to get smoked. Last bit of utility coming in. Nice spray from Perks. Goes 1 for 1. The fuse is going to be tapped. And Streakin actually gets put down. Yeah, there's not enough time left to get the defuse in, but at least we'll steal away the AWP.
Terrorists win.
Grannies draw it almost even. I do admire alternate attacks there. Been praising their defensive style particularly, but to be able to make that work with 2 SMGs against 2 rifles is impressive. Grannies with enough to buy into this round. Alternate attack still a little cash poor. Traditional at this point exchange utility nearly going. Hasn't really been doing a ton of damage to the Grannies, but it's been doing a little. A push in progress for Grannies in force. Hyped is left all on his lonesome, decides to fall back from the site. We do have the flank coming in here for Freeze, and it's well done. Gets the kill, gets the gun. And suddenly things are looking pretty rough for the Grannies. They've made their plant. Now they've got to make it stick. Zadivo, nice pick up onto Orzek from range. It might end up being driven out of the site entirely though. Doesn't quite spot the target there. There you go, Perks gets the kill through. That's Zadivo and Streaken from the Grannies. The fuse is being attempted, but Streaken just comes in and ruins absolutely everything. One down. Perks gonna cut his own leg off, as we will see a dead even half, 6-6. Alternate attacks and Grannies. In terms of between these two teams, I would be expecting, and there's not a lot of data to go off here, that we would see alternate attacks doing slightly better, but it really isn't enough data to be able to know for certain. This is, of course, Granny's map pick, which sounds like it could be a segment. We'll see how well the Grannies do here on the CT side. As I said before, alternate attacks, they tend to be a team that takes 3 games to get done. But that could change as Hype lands a couple of headshots. I think we're about to see some rapid movement. Magilla, the time needs to be very good here. Finds one before fading away. Very dynamic first round of the second half. And Magilla does it again. What a cheeky so-and-so. Arrow brings us even at 2-2 again. A-side defense being preferred by the Grannies. So we can see that is the right choice right now, but we do have Arrow from the from AA just scouting the B site and saying, okay, it's completely open. Wait, alternate attacks. They're playing 4D chess here. They scouted the B site, then mollied off the entrance and made the plant on A. Really interesting approach. You see that Hype's getting chased off the site, but has got the backup there from Arrow. Everyone's out of utility. Wait, alternate attacks. They get a little bit gun shy there and actually end up giving the round across in the defuse. I don't know if they expected. Maybe there was a slight misread because everything else was good. That they managed to bait the Grannies across the B site, but I think maybe they thought they were further away than they were. They didn't push it in for the round quickly enough, and that means that the Grannies pull ahead ever so slightly. At least the plant was made by AA, so they've got a little bit of money. They're going to force it into this round. This is definitely one of those points for a team that can end up being frustrating, as it seemed like you had everything you needed. Ooh, nice nade onto the feet of Arrow from Grannies. Early damage being pushed through, as alternate attacks going to be trying to sneaky beat their way up to the A site. It looks like nobody has spotted them as of yet. Mid-control will be fought for, which should help divert attention. Nice coordinated play. Sadivo, I think, sensing a rat. No. Gives up his position and watching the A site. Grannies, 4 players to 2, 3 players to 2 players to 2. 1 and oh my gosh, 2 versus 4. Alternate attacks open up and absolutely annihilate the Granny squad. Holy moly. I do think that was one of those things there that we saw the power of being unexpected from alternate attacks. I think because the Granny squad weren't quite, hadn't conceived of the idea that AA were on the site like that. They just fell to pieces immediately. There's a lot of work done ahead of time, of course, for a team to kind of decide what they are doing. And then you need to close your mind off. being able to bring in an element of unexpected play, I think really disrupts a lot of what people were doing. As Granny's actually open up here with the first kill. Yeah, Free's going to use one of the major advantages for aTTaX in this round, which is that they've got massively better equipment to knock on wood and get a return kill back and one more. Courtesy of Perks. It felt like this was one of the rounds where aTTaX came in with maybe a little bit too much momentum. I think being very pleased with how well their kind of trick play worked in the previous round. Which can definitely make you underestimate an opponent who is on their pistol round and still looking to try and do as much damage as possible. Yeah, I wasn't quite expecting number 3, I suspect, aTTaX, but still. A decent enough round all told. On the Granny side of things, I think they're relatively happy, especially getting that first kill through. But yeah, Freeze, setting up for the play there. You could definitely tell Perks was in a position to deal with 2 of the Grannies, but not 3. Grannies arriving in force. Nice use of the molly to deny any further push in, and Perks disengages once more. This is a lot more what I would like to see from aTTaX on these kind of rounds. Taking very, very few chances, not giving any windows of opportunity for these murder Grannies to come through and make any surprises happen. The plant is good. Again, a beautiful grenade landing directly at the feet of the streak end. Vegas and streak end both are gone. And just like that, the round is done. Definitely feeling a lot more confident with the German side, aTTaX, so far. As we'll see how things go here on the bye round for the Lithuanian team, the Grannies Knockers. As we come into our second half as well, our thanks to our friends from Hellcase. You can check them out in the panel below the stream. Thank them for the support. Champion of Champions Tour. Was like a little bit too aggressive onto the A site there. Gets cut to pieces. aTTaX will immediately make their move in. Again, a little bit of an overextension there twice in a row. And the Grannies, I think, going to be able to take advantage of this. No. 2 back for aTTaX just as quickly. We're down to 2-on-2. Perks barely alive from aTTaX, and no longer alive at all is hyped. I think aTTaX have kind of fumbled the ball here. Bomb drops over towards the B site. I think Perks is assuming that that bomb is covered, so we can see it's not. Perks is going to need to backstab both remaining members of the Granny squad. Needs to find them now as well, the unusual situation of being forced to pursue the Grannies around the map. You can see they are checking their 6, and now they know exactly where Perks is. Just like that, the round goes across to the Lithuanian squad. Again, I think just too much aggression from aTTaX there, too much confidence ends up costing them dearly. At least aTTaX will be able to spend their remaining cash in the bank on this round, but I hope we see a little bit more circumspection, not just trying to bull rush their way in, because as much as they are the favoured team coming into this one, I think the second they start treating this like a done deal, this is the second they're going to end up in trouble. Granny's trade in the early going. A-site aggression would be the main play though. Devo forced back out of sight. Molly into donut means that we should be seeing a very safe plant from aTTaX. But they are getting plinked for a little bit of damage. I don't feel super confident about AA here. See? Arrow gets overrun on the flank. aTTaX have managed to get the plant into the 2 versus 4. They managed to make it work before, but Perk's only 1 for 1. Hype gets one more. But Streakin is more than ready to step in and draw us even. 9-9. Ooh, taking a second to appreciate a couple of players from the granny side of things. Sadiva, Magilla. Nearly getting up to 20 apiece. Looking very, very good indeed. aTTaX. Looking much, you know, while we've got the hyped and perks both looking very good. Breeze, I think we'd like to see a little bit more from. Round here from aTTaX will manage to bust onto the A site, but they'll need to dodge that last grenade. Looking for a quick plant. Oh boy, yeah. aTTaX is just getting ripped to pieces. Perks does manage to find a way through and hit up the flank. Gets down 2 members immediately.
Gonna run across here and try and stop the fuse, knows that it's going to be a death sentence, but takes the fight a little late anyway. Grannies take the lead here on their map pick. Ooh, alright, aTTaX, they did drain the bank account somewhat on the previous round, so see what they decide to do here. It doesn't feel like a done deal, but aTTaX seem to be losing momentum, I think, in the map overall, based on what we were seeing previously. Perk's going to come in with the only rifle for aTTaX for the round. As utility seems to be good from the grannies. Perks does get the first kill. Will drop the rifle across. Arrow picks it up immediately. But yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, it was always going to be a tough round to see too much ground gained by aTTaX, but 1 rifle, 1... No, my apologies, 2 kills. I didn't notice the second one coming in. And we have still got freeze coming through here on the extreme flank. I think it's very likely he's going to be getting anything more than this, so... We'll do the switcheroo, but we see Sadivo is right there with him, and we'll cut him to pieces. Grannies pick up their 4th round in a row for aTTaX. You never want to kind of let this idea into your mind as a team, but it does start to feel a little bit like we may have gone too far for aTTaX to pull this one back. This round, I think, will tell us a lot of whether that is the case. Yeah, no, thanks to our friends from Hellcase. You can check them out below our stream. Essentially the last chance here for aTTaX. They will come off the worst from the initial utility exchange as well. It has been consistent for a little while. Breeze is knocked down in mid, which means A-side control belongs to the grannies in its entirety. aTTaX, they are waiting for a few moments longer. That's letting the Grannies to bring 3 members back to defend B. Here comes the play. Orzek manages to get ahead of the flash by just a moment. Utility will keep also attacks moving onto the site, but they will return the favor. The amount of flashes coming through as well, so the plant is made. Ike finds the shot before being shut down himself, and it's down to 2 versus 3 with 2 alternate attacks members barely alive. Slocker looking for the op shot, can't quite find it. So Devo is still on the roam, will be coming in. And there we go. Alternate attacks. They managed to not only win the round, but keep hold of all 3 of their members, including the 2 walking wounded. And that was the pivot point that they needed desperately. As you said before, alternate attacks, I think, a more methodical team, and that's kind of backed up by the observations of how they played. And it's why they tend to go to 3 games against most teams, as they spend that time with figuring out their opponents and applying the correct countermeasures. We'll see the pause coming in. Alternate attacks. They know what's at stake in this round. Especially taking away Granny's map pick would be huge. Let me know, gentle chatters, if you think I'm correct in this, but it feels more like alternate attacks are making mistakes here, giving up rounds, rather than necessarily that Grannies are doing anything super outrageous, but we'll see. Gonna be no buy for Grannies, just bringing out a couple of deagles. Yeah, like being boosted up there and knocked down. Means alternate attacks should feel a little bit less pressure. A site is open for the taking. Hype's going to take a blind shot in. I don't know if I like this from alternate attacks. I mean, they're keeping the pressure down, but they've lost arrow in the exchange. Kind of taken a... Okay, fine. I can accept that hyped using the target battle for sure. Ooh, and a little bit closer than maybe you would have liked for the German squad. The plant is good. Alternate attacks draw us even 11 to 11. My gut here is telling me that we're not seeing this go to overtime, that one of these teams should be able to pull it together and bring us across the line. So far in the half, it has been 5-5. The first half was 6-6. So maybe I'll be proven wrong and we'll go to overtime on here, our first map of the day. For anyone who has just tuned in partway through this first map of the day, of our first series, we'll be having 3 more series to follow. Illuminar versus Young Ninjas. The one coming up at 1300 CEST. Alternate attacks going to try and bull rush their way into mid, go 1 for 1. Aguila in position to make that a 2 for 1. As the rest of alternate attacks go for the A site. I'm not feeling super optimistic. Grannies will have the numbers advantage. Utility is still okay for AA, and taking Magilla out courtesy of Hype's AWP brings us at least back to numbers, but we'll see how well the Grannies can do here. Slocker going to try and sneaky beak around the side. We'll have a fight down in Donut as well. Big opportunity for Grannies here. They will push in. Hype grabs 1. Slocker can't find anybody so far. Going to tap the bomb. Draws Hype out of position. And Hype gets another as well. What a round for Hype. The 4K alternate attacks. That could be the clarion call that gets them the map win. A hell of a round from Hype there, who kept his nerve under very less than ideal circumstances. Yeah, and with that, grannies, they have been economically broken, and the initial instinct seems to be correct. Alternate attacks, that last round should have been what won it for them. They now just need to put the final pieces in. Nice nade to the feet of the grannies. They have just got the SMGs for the round, so there shouldn't be too much chance of shenanigans. Bomb being left over towards B. Alternate attacks are spreading themselves as Hype picks up yet another kill. 28 so far. Looking for the 30 bombs, not going to get it this game. But the damage has been done. Hype living up to his own name. As alternate attacks crush through, and it's not even a little bit close. 4 rounds in a row, but I think we can lay that one firmly at the feet of Hype. That was a hell of a game for him, particularly towards the tail end there. So that was the map pick of the Grannies, taken by alternate attacks. Again, a team known for going to 3 games in this series. I do think this is quite possibly not going to be the case here. Alternate attacks looking very, very good, even while things looked a little shaky towards the tail end. As we move on to Inferno, our second map of the series, we're looking to see if alternate attacks can close this one down and secure their space in the play-in finals tomorrow. But now though, gentle friends, stay tuned. We've got 3 more series to go through today, and we've got at least 1 more map from this first of our 4 series overall. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in around 10 minutes time.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.